friends, welcome back to my channel. So one question I always get in my comment section is how do I make my thumbnails? And I do have a tutorial already on my channel from a couple of months ago now. I think it's about 3 months old, but since things have changed slightly since I did that tutorial, I wanted to give you guys an updated version on how I make my thumbnails because it is quite easy. I don't really do anything too fancy with them, so I thought I'd show you guys and maybe it'll help out some of you who are starting your own channels. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to take some pictures of my character. Now when I'm taking pictures of my character, I like it to be light in game. I tend to take them like around 8 AM in game when it's really bright and the morning is just started. And how I take the pictures of my character is I make a green screen, and it's really simple how to make a green screen. I just enter build mode and I'll move over to the side here where there's not too much going on and you've not got my build and stuff in the way, and I will simply build a green screen like this. So I will take a wall, it doesn't matter how long it's going to be, and some flooring as well, and you only really need to do like the first 2 kind of squares in front of the wall. And then I will simply paint this green colour, so they want to be lime green, which is like a bright neon green, and I will paint the wall to match as well. So that is how you make the green screen, and now we want to light it up a little bit. So the lighting that I use is very simple. I literally just grab this sleek ceiling light because it's already painted white, so it's already nice and bright, and I place 3 of those at the top, and then I also grab the landscape up light and I place 3 of those underneath like so, and I literally place them inside the walls because you can't really see them then and it's still nice and bright. Now sometimes depending on the video I might want some props for my character to hold, so maybe I'm doing like, let's say, a spring cleaning video, maybe I would like some kind of household items for my character to hold, so maybe I want a laundry basket, or maybe I'm doing a gardening video and I want my character to carry a wheelbarrow or something to just kind of fit the video. So if I need any props I will just place these next to the green screen. Now, I always have a green screen set up, it's on one of my houses. I think my Spring Suburban has the green screen on it, and I have loads of props next to it like this, so I literally keep this set up. So one good thing if you are a YouTuber is you could make an actual plot for this and have a green screen always there with lots of props ready to go whenever you're making a video. So what I do to take the pictures of my character then is I just come out of build mode and I head over to my green screen, and like I said, I take these pictures during the day so I get the best lighting and my character is really lit up and bright. For this one I'm not going to carry any props, but what I simply do is I stand in front of this green screen here. I try to get these turn offs not over my character's feet because we don't want them in the image, and I simply come up close to the green screen, zoom in, turn my character around so I am facing away from the green screen, and then I kind of fit my character into the screen like so. Once I'm like this, maybe I want to do some kind of emotion to whatever emotion I'd like my character to have. So I'll just use emotes and stuff to get different screenshots, and I simply just take screenshots of my character like this. So I move my mouse off of the character because we don't want the mouse in the way so it's not in the edit. And I think for this one I'm not going to do this little dance. I think I'm simply going to do a wave, and I take a few screenshots to make sure I get the perfect one, so I'll do it over and over again because with the animations, like, she moves about and stuff and we want her to be in the perfect position. So you can do lots of different emotions. Maybe you want to take a load at once so you've got them stocked up ready to use, so you could have all of these emotions and lots of props already stocked up on images so you don't have to do this every time you do a video. But that is the first step I do for making my thumbnails. Now step 2 is taking a picture of the building. So most of my videos do, have buildings in the background, seeing as I'm mostly a Bloxburg YouTuber. Most of the videos will have like my latest build or whatever build I'm role playing in the background. And how I take these pictures is I actually, first of all, I want to go on these 3 lines in the corner up here to bring up settings. And then I want to go on the cog for settings, and I'm going to put my graphics on full quality for this. To do this, what you need to do is so when you open this, if you've never changed your graphics before, it will say automatic here. You simply need to press this arrow so it goes to manual, and then you will be able to turn the graphics up to full quality like so. And this is just going to give you the best quality image of your build. So this is something I've done differently since the last video I did. I wasn't really aware of being able to change the graphics when I did my last video on thumbnails, so this is something different and it definitely has improved my thumbnails a lot. So what I'll do now is I'll head into build mode and I will press the letter H on my keyboard, and that'll get rid of all of the lines here. Now I take most of my pictures in build mode because I find them much clearer and it's just kind of easier to get things in shot, so I'll take pictures of my outside of the build mainly. So I'll just take a few of these so I have a few options from a few different angles. Oh, and also I need to move my mouse out of the way as well, so I just bring my mouse down to the corner here so it's not in the screen, and I'll just get a few different pictures of this house. So once I'm happy that I've got all of the pictures I need, it's time to head over to Photoshop to edit the thumbnail together. So once I've opened up the photos that we've taken in Photoshop, I'm going to decide which ones we want to use for the thumbnail. So I have a couple of pictures of my character, so I have a couple of wavy ones, and I think out of these two she looks a little bit better in this one because she stood up a little straighter, so I'm going to go with this one for the picture of my character. And then we're going to have a look at the pictures that I took of the build. I only took a couple for examples. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to use. They're all pretty okay really. I think this one's quite nice, so maybe we'll go with this one and get rid of the other two. So here are my two pictures that I am going to use for my thumbnail, and I also have opened my thumbnail template. So this is just a template I made to be able to make my thumbnails on, so each one is the same size, and I also have some brightness things here as well, which I'll show you in a bit as well, and I already have the Roblox logo on there ready to use. So this template, I'll just leave you the sizes for this. So the size of this template is, so it's 1280 pixels wide and 720 pixels in height, and it's also resolution 72, which is the resolution you want to use for online pictures. I learnt that studying graphics, and that is just the standard pixel resolution for online images, so I recommend using resolution 72 for this. So that is the template size you'll need. If you want to make one of these templates yourself, you simply need to do File, New. So you simply put the dimensions that I just told you in these boxes here with the resolution in this box, and you'll be able to get the exact size that I use for my template. The Roblox logo is just off of Google. So to get the logo, I simply go onto Google and Google Roblox logo PNG. You want it to be a PNG because PNG are images where you can have a transparent background. So as you can see, if I click on this logo here, the background is already taken out for me, and I can simply just copy this image and simply paste the logo into there. Easy as that. And then I've just got a outer glow layer on there, which I'll show you how to do later on in the video, but that is how I make the template. It is very easy. Now with the images, the first thing I want to do is grab my background image. So this is the image I want to use here, and I'm just going to grab as much of the image as I can, just using this tool here. I'm not really sure what this tool is called, but it's just a rectangular tool. What is this called? Rectangular marquee tool. So that's the tool you want to use. Just grab that, and then we want to go edit, copy, head on to the thumbnail template and edit and paste. And I want to move this image so it is below the logo. We don't want it on top of the Roblox logo, so as you can see now, it's now below there. Now to change the size of it, because it's obviously way too big for my template, I'm just going to go edit, free transform, and that will enable me to resize the image. So I'm just going to press shift so I keep the image all the same dimensions when I'm resizing it. If I don't press shift when I resize this image, I can resize it weirdly shaped, so I can make it like a sausage shape like this, and it doesn't look right. So you want to hold shift down whilst you resize the image. I just want to get it back to where it was. Okay, that's how we were. So we want to go edit, free transform, hold shift down, and then resize the image. And as you can see now, it all resizes at the same time. And we just want to get it the right size so it sits on this template. And I don't want any of the things in it, so like the icons here and the time and stuff, I don't want any of those in the images, so I try to get them out of the picture. Once I'm happy with the placing, I just double click in the middle of the image and it is done like that. And one thing I do like to do to kind of brighten up the image a little bit is I just like to add a brightness layer, which is what I have here. These are already set. So if I put this under here and turn these on, as you can see, I've got two different brightness levels to make it brighter. But I will just quickly show you how to do this. So it's very easy. You just click this little icon here and then do brightness and contrast, and then simply grab this little arrow and you can pull it up like this and it will make it brighter. And you can make it super bright, or you can just make it a little bit brighter. I just like to make it a little bit brighter. 68 seems about right. There isn't like an exact number I use, I just kind of eyeball it, but this looks quite nice. I like how bright this is. So next thing we want to do is add in spookles. So I'm going to go onto the spookles image here, and using the rectangular marquee tool again, we're just going to grab as much of spookles as we can. Edit and copy, go back into the template and do edit and paste, and this time we want to grab the magic wand tool, which is here. So we want the magic wand tool and we want to just click the green area like so to delete that. I'm not really fussed that it kind of deletes the little pigtaily bits. I don't really feel like you notice it once you see the edited thumbnail, so it doesn't really, oops, I'm moving the wrong image there, so it doesn't really bother me that it cuts that out when I'm deleting the green. I don't know, if you have a different hairstyle it won't happen, but with my pink pigtails it does get rid of the little green pigtail bit, like the little green bobble. Oh, I needed to say it actually, let me just undo so I can show you guys that properly. So what you need to do once you've selected the green area, so if I just reselect this again, is you just simply press backspace and that will delete that area. And then we are just going to use the marquee tool to kind of deselect this bit. So I just click the marquee tool and then click off of the screen like this, and it'll deselect that area. And then I'll grab this tool to be able to move my image about, so I can move spookles about like so. And I tend to place her on the right hand side of the screen, so I have the Roblox logo on the left and I have spookles on the right, and that actually looks quite nice there. She looks quite glam in that spot. I'll just move her over slightly, she looks quite nice there. So next we are going to add some text to it. So I'm just going to pretend with this one that I've built this house behind me. So it was a renovation build that I did, so maybe I will call it, so this is a small suburban house, maybe I will call it Small Suburban Renovation. And the font that I use on here is the Press Start 2P font, which is a font that I downloaded from the website Dafont. That's D-A-F-O-N-T. And there's loads of fonts on there that you can choose on, but this is the font that I like because it's this cute pixely font. And I like to have these kind of centrally placed when I'm typing. To type, by the way, you'd literally just press this T here, click on the screen, and you are able to type. So that is the font I use. And then I'm just going to find the right size of this. So I'm going to edit, free transform again, and I'm going to resize this to how big I want it to be and move it around so it's placed perfectly on the screen. I think slightly bigger. That seems okay, so we're going to go with that font. And next we want to choose what colour we want the font to be. So I grab the type tool again, highlight all of that, and I tend to pick a colour that's on the screen. So with this house there is a lot of like yellow accents, so like the sunflowers here, so I think I'm going to grab this cute yellow colour here. I want quite a bright bit though. That bit will do. So we have the yellow font like so. And then I want to come over to here, I want to right click, duplicate layer, and then I'm going to grab the type tool again. I'm going to recolour this but make it darker. With yellow I tend to make it darker by making it more orange, but with other colours I'll simply like click down here to make it darker, but because it's yellow I like to use orange as the darker colour, so we're just going to grab an orange. And this will place it on top of that yellow, but we want to go over here and grab that and move it underneath so the yellow is back on top. And then we want to grab this little movement tool here, click a few spaces to the side, click a few spaces down. I'm simply using the arrow keys to move this, so it's got like this kind of 3D effect here, which is what I like. I think it makes the title look a little bit fancier. And then I'm just going to grab a brush tool and click on both of these layers to make them into images. As you can see, it just comes up saying type layer must be resized before proceeding. Its text will no longer be editable, and you just want to click OK on this and it will turn it into an image. Now with the layers that have the small suburban type on and also spookles, I want to merge all of these together. So I'm going to start with the top one, click merge down, and then click on the second one and click merge down. So I now have one layer which has the type and spookles on it like so. With this layer we then want to duplicate the layer, go onto the layer that is underneath the top one and click this little box here to lock the layer. Now what you want to do is shift and backspace, and you'll get this box here which will give you the option to fill this layer completely. And I like to fill it in white because I feel like it gives the cleanest look. Sometimes if I use black you can see the edging around the picture after. I don't know how to explain it, but if I choose black you could see like little black lines come up around the image, which is not really what I want, so I like to use white for this. So you simply just choose the option white on here. Opacity you want to be 100, and then you will click OK. And as you can see now, the layer that is below this one is all white like this, so we have a complete white version of spookles. Now you're probably thinking this looks completely crazy, why have I done this? Now this is so that I can add an outer glow to the image. I'd do the same thing if I was doing this Roblox logo here. So what I want to do now is I want to double click on the layer that is all white, so layer 3 here. I want to go onto this option outer glow, and I want to add an outer glow to the image. And to do this you simply can just rearrange some of these, change the sizing of where the glow goes and stuff, and how bright it is, and like the spread and stuff. You just change it until you're happy with how it looks. I don't like it to be too spread. I'm trying to work out how I had it before. It was like perfect before. Okay, so that looks good for size, and then we want the spread to be a little bit stronger. That seems about right. So once I'm happy with it I just click OK. and then we'll turn the layer back on above, and as you can see now we now have this nice outer glow all the way around spookles, which really makes her stand out on the image. And that is basically how I edit my thumbnails. It is very easy, just a few basic steps. I know it's on Photoshop, which is something you have to pay for. I pay £9.99 a month for Photoshop. I have the photography package, so I basically get like the basics of Photoshop, and I get something else in with it as well. I'm not sure, another software, but I only really use the Photoshop. So this is £9.99 a month. There are loads of free editors out there where you can basically do the same things on. There's like free Photoshop online and stuff like that, so I'm sure lots of you guys will be able to find software to be able to do this on as well. So that is how I edit my thumbnails. Hopefully that'll help you guys out, even if it just gives you a few tips and tricks on how to take better pictures or how to edit them. I really hope it did help some of you guys out. Please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Comment down below with any future video ideas, and as always guys, a huge thank you for watching. Bye guys. Mwah.